So, we have this story. This is how we want you to behave. Every company, every organization has a story about how they want the people at the organization to behave. Our story is not that different from your story. Everybody says fail fast. We didn't invent that story. But people go over here. You know what I'm talking about, right? You tell them to do that, and weirdly, they just persistently keep doing this other set of things that aren't exactly, if it's a good company, then it's like this. If it's a bad company, it's like that. But there's quite a bit of daylight between what they actually do and what you're asking them to be like. Because this is the aspiration, it's the nice way to say lip service. This is the emotional paths of least resistance. And humans follow the emotional paths of least resistance. They do not care what your lip service is. So culture engineering is trying to make the emotional paths of least resistance more or less the same as your lip service so that people actually do the things that you're telling them that you'd like them to do. So the first one is 10x, not 10%. Be audacious. Again, I get a lot of people saying, well, if I had tons of money, maybe I could do that. It's more complicated than that. Number one, when I say, hey, you want to come with me? We're going to make this thing 10% better. I don't know, Astro. I got a couple other offers. If I say, we're going to totally change this. We're going to make this problem 10% better. Or sorry, 10 times better. Now I've lit a fire in your heart. You'll stay with me longer. All things being equal, I can pay you less or keep you for the same amount of money. You'll be more passionate about the things that you do. We're on a mission. And there's a ton of value and passion and innovation that is unlocked by being on a mission. Number two, if I say, hey, let's make this thing 10% better. You're like, okay, I guess. Well, if we're going to make it 10% better, let's look at what everyone else did and just kind of try to tweak the variables. You know, if you could just tweak the variables and make it 10% better, someone would already have done that. And there are a lot of companies around the world who are busy tweaking those variables right now. That's the expensive thing to do. You think it's the cheap thing to do because 10% is smaller than 10%, than 10 times. But it's not. It's actually the expensive thing to do because you're competing with all those people. But if I say that you have to make a car run on a gallon of gasoline for 500 miles instead of for 50, you're like, well, obviously it can't be built the way cars are currently built. We're going to have to do something totally different. Now, maybe you can't figure out a way, but it frees you immediately from all of the assumptions that went into how things are currently being done. And being freed of those assumptions is what's powerful, because that is creativity, is finding some assumptions, what people consider right and normal and correct, to break. And 10x thinking is what gives people the permission, the cultural space to try doing that.